I'm Åsa.
And we're from Inspiring Yarns, and this is going to be our podcast about following along with us as we muddle through being a social enterprise which aims to help people with mental health and well-being through creativity and textile and yarn use. We set up in 2021. We have been going ever since. We are two women of a certain age who frequently forget things within like 10 seconds of being told. Our podcast is likely to be
Chaotic
at best.
Informative,
hopefully. Any other words?
Interesting, amusing.
Yeah.
Cringe.
We're cringing.
Yeah, we are.
Big time. You may notice as we go along that we are not professionals in front of cameras. We do not like it. It is not our safe space. But we are here nonetheless.
We are here to support each other.
Yeah, we got this. So we have decided that we wanted to just let people know a bit more about really why we are a social enterprise, what we started up with. So just as a bit of background information, we started up from 2021. It was myself and my sister Janice, who you may have known from Giddy Aunt Yarns. We started it up in 2016. We established our yarn dyeing brand and very quickly fell in love with everything to do with yarn and knitting and crochet. We then moved into COVID times. We have never been busier. We realised that all of our customers were very depressed about the fact that they couldn't get out to different yarn shows or any of their knitting natters or anything that they would have associated as being like a social side of their hobby. So we decided that because I had a background working in the voluntary sector, I had always thought about doing a social enterprise, and we felt that that was about time for really just making a break from jobs that were not serving us very well in terms of our own mental health. We both had mental health difficulties as a result of work-related stress, and during those times we always found that our own yarn hobbies really were quite a source of comfort for us. And also the fact that it gave us that sense of community as well. We went to different knitting groups. And also we had developed a part-time business for ourselves as well, so we knew that there was a lot that yarn could offer people, and from that we decided in 2021 then to hand in our notice on our day jobs and make this our permanent thing. So the initial concept behind it was just as a place initially for people to go once COVID restrictions started easing, somewhere that people could go and meet up, sort of maybe discuss anxiety issues, discuss mental health concerns, and really just somewhere where they can practice and share their different yarn skills, hobbies, and that has morphed into everything to do with textiles pretty much. So Elsa, how did you get involved?
Yeah, I was dragged kicking and screaming.
No, you weren't. Lies.
No, so my background, I started out in architecture, and then as a mature student I went back and did textile art in uni, and a year later opened my first yarn shop, which was run very much on the same principles as what we're doing here. So creating a space for people to be and to get together, get community. Anyway, into my second yarn shop, and my health broke down just as COVID hit. And I really didn't think I was going to work a day in my life again. But Claire and Janice came and they asked, would I at least sit on the board? And I was like, yeah, okay, I can do that. That's not too much. And then little by little, they pulled me in. I wouldn't say force, but
it's like dangling a yarn carrot, I believe.
Yeah. Look at this, follow the yarn. As my health improved, I was able to do more as well. So now I'm a creative director and quite happy with that.
One of the better decisions you made to come back to work.
One of the better decisions, yes. Yes, indeed.
Good.
Indeed. Yeah.
So just for the crack, we thought, just to let you get a little bit of an insider of what goes on in our heads, we thought we'd prepare 5 questions, quick fire for each other, that we haven't practiced. We will probably not edit them. So let's go. Asa, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Flying all the way.
Would you rather be a lighthouse keeper or a train driver?
A train driver, because you get to go different places.
Yarn or fabric, if you can only use one for the rest of your life, what survives the cull?
Oh, that's a hard cull, isn't it? I think it'll have to be yarn.
What's the most unhinged project you've ever started and not finished?
I think it's I did finish it, but it's this double bed size blanket made in 4-ply that I stress crocheted during stressful period of my life a couple of years ago, and I am now unraveling it because it doesn't have a place in my house anymore.
Oh, that is quite unhinged.
Yeah.
Read the instructions first or figure it out as you go along?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. That's the best way to go.
Well, you might say that.
Right, my turn, Claire. And I think I know the answer to the first one already, but I'll ask anyway. What's your favourite colour?
Orange.
I knew that. Cats or bats?
As an owner of 5 cats, I'm going to have to go with cats, but I do like a bat.
You do like a bat too?
I do like a bat.
Mm-hmm. Knitting or crochet?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm just going to have to say crochet for the time being.
Okay. What do you do to switch off?
What is this switch off thing of which you speak? Probably sleep.
Okay. Just like a switch off when you're
Literally
sleeping.
switch off.
Okay. And the last one. If you didn't do this that we're doing, what would you want to do with your life?
I still haven't really decided what I want to do when I grow up.
Well, we haven't grown up yet,
No.
so, that's okay.
It would have to probably be something to do with travel maybe, but I don't know.
Good.
But I'll just keep on doing this for the time being.
Please do.
So, partly to make it easier for ourselves and not to overwhelm you with too much information on our first podcast, we have decided just to do a little bit about what we have coming up over the next couple of months with Inspiring Yarns. So firstly, we have an exhibition starting on the 6th of July in Ards Arts Centre. This will be a lot of our community art pieces that we've been working on with various different community groups over the past years. So I suppose going back to the very first one that we would have had would have been...
Which was the first one? You threw that one out, did you?
The first piece of community art that we would have created would have been as part of in recognition of the Queen's Jubilee anniversary.
Right. Yeah.
And we got 70 people to do a square of knitting or crochet each, and we did 70 by 70 for 70, and we've created a patchwork piece which details like a wildflower meadow.
The resilience
of nature, because we figured the Queen was quite a resilient person throughout the year, so we wanted to pick one of her defining features and work from there. It was across community, edit that bit.
Yeah.
We worked with different groups, 3 different groups across the Ards and North Down Borough Council area and Belfast as well, with Ballybean Women's Centre. So we were able to take in a wide range of people from different backgrounds and different ages. We had some, I think the youngest person we had in that group was maybe like 7, and possibly the oldest one about 93, so quite a varied community. gathering to do that piece, but we'll have things like that. We'll have the Know Your Worth exhibition that we also hosted in the Heritage Centre in Bangor Castle, and it was basically focusing on improving or just helping people to acknowledge just how much time and effort goes into textile arts, because we do sometimes feel that it is a bit underestimated in terms of the outputs of it. So we'll have our full Know Your Worth exhibition, and then we'll also have our Collaborate Piece quilt. If you're looking for more information on the Collaborate Piece quilt, we will do a little piece on it later, but also there's a section on our website which shows you the quilt just before it was finished, and there's also a little section on what it meant to the people that took part in that project as well.
So the next thing on our to-do list, I guess, is our pre-loved pop-up market. We've tried a couple of times in Comber Community Hall, and it was good, but maybe a little bit small. And now we're relaunching them in Castle Espy, and it's going to be on the 2nd of August. And it coincides with their
Dragonfly Festival.
It coincides with their Dragonfly Festival, so there'll be loads of stuff happening. So the 2nd of August is a Sunday, and we're going to be there from 11 to 4. But there'll be loads of stuff for kids to do, and a great day out altogether. So we're super excited about that.
What sort of things are at the pop-up market?
So at the pop-up market, obviously it depends on who wants a table. So if you're interested in getting a table at it, please let us know, contact us. But anything from people destashing their yarn collection, fabrics, maybe curtains and household sort of textiles, clothes, anything textile related at all, and it's all to help people reduce what they throw away. We want as much as possible to be reused as possible. So,
and again, information on it is available on our website, which is www.inspiringyarns.co.uk. Okay, so most people in Northern Ireland will have heard of August Craft Month, but for August Craft Month we'll be doing a couple of different things. One of them will include the pre-loved pop-up at Castle Espy. We've also been contacted by Dr. Karen Seward Patel from Birmingham City University. She's an associate professor in media and has approached us because she has an interest in particular social enterprise craft organisations, and I suppose just looking at the different implications for those. So she had approached us, she wants to do a project with us, and we have decided to link in with our very good friends up at Glenside Farm, which is another social enterprise farm just outside Comber. Karen will be coming over for our Yarn Together on the Tuesday night, which is Tuesday the 4th of August. Dates are not my strong point. I hugely rely on Osa's brain to help me with dates.
Dear help me.
So Tuesday the 4th, Karen will be over with our Yarn Together group and just seeing what we do on a general Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday the 5th, we'll be hosting a free to attend, but you will have to book a place for it, felting session up at Glenside Farm. So the theme will be felting the landscape. So
we have a few little tasters here, just to let you know. The skill level can be very, beginner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up to obviously more than that.
Yeah. So the theme is, as we say, felting the landscape. We are hoping to do some 2D felting, which will just be, as Osa has just shown you can use textures, colours. It can be abstract, it can be, as detailed or as basic as you want it to be. And then we'll also be doing a 3D felted sheep. And then Karen will be sitting in with that as well, just as part of her research. Nothing too high level, you don't need to worry too much about Karen. be in there. It's not going to ask you any awkward questions or anything. But so we will publish details of that on our social media once that gets going and the places are available to book. We are hoping to have about 15 places on it, and it will be free to attend. Any other details, again, just check out our website.
So next up is we want to mention a couple of courses that are coming up. They will be linked under the August Craft Month as well. And the first one is Knit a Pocket, and that is exploring intarsia for those of you who haven't tried that. And we are using our own wool that we've had spun, that is very local to where we are. In fact, from the Glenside farm that we just talked about. So it will use all three colours, and I'll go through step by step how to set up your intarsia project and stuff like that. But while we're showing you the yarn, we can maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So this was part of the yarn that we have here, was part of one of our research projects. We are very keen to set up our own spinning mill within Northern Ireland, because a large part of the problem with the value of wool locally is that there are no processing facilities within Northern Ireland. So it's our dream to set up a mill. So as part of this, we took some fleeces from Glenside Farm. We took them over to Rampisham Hill Farm in Dorset. And we initially thought that we wouldn't get anything useful from it, because the fleeces were definitely not in their best condition. They'd been sitting around, stored outside for over a year. They were already starting to diminish, I suppose, not the best quality. And we thought we'd try out maybe getting it turned into some felt sheets. But Rampisham were able to actually spin us the yarn that we have here, and Åsa has created this lovely...
Not my pattern, but I don't remember what the pattern is called. But
No?
I don't think so. But anyway,
we'll insert the pattern details.
Yes, we will do that.
But also knit this up as part of the research project.
And the yarn is on the rustic side, but it's definitely wearable. It's softened up as I was working with it, and I actually really, really enjoy working with it. So it's really exciting to think that we can get something like this super local. So the next course that we have coming up is starting on the 26th of August, running for 4 weeks. And we decided to call it Embrace Your Inner Granny. Not that any of us are grannies, but what we're going to do is you're going to be able to choose actually between doing a bath mat like this and a doily, and we're all into our doilies, aren't we?
Yeah, nothing beats a good doily.
No, that's it. Again, details will come on to our website very shortly.
Again, many of you, if you're Northern Ireland based, you may know that we have our own festival, which is called Gathering Stitches Festival. We've only just finished it, so we are perfectly happy now to discuss other yarn festivals that we may be attending.
We will
attending throughout the year. We have Yarndale coming up on the 26th and 27th of September, which is in Skipton in Yorkshire. And then we also have the Knit and Stitch show in Belfast, which is the...
Yeah, I should have checked the dates on that, shouldn't I? The
12th to the 15th
of November. And just like last year, we are going to be hosting the Knit Lounge. So it's a space where you can come and sit and knit or crochet for a while, or maybe just sit and chat. We will also be bringing obviously some of our stock to sell.
Yep, last year we sort of became a bit of a lost and found for people, didn't we? Because
Yeah,
people kept leaving other people with us and then coming back and collecting them about half an hour later or so. So yes,
that worked.
But it was a lovely space.
Yeah.
The show did really well with setting it up for us, and it was really welcome, I think, by anybody who had been to previous shows and felt that there maybe wasn't enough spaces to sit down and just have a bit of a break from the show. So again, as also said, we'll be hosting that.
If anything, we would love to have some more seats, because even just the other day, a customer came into the shop and said that she had walked past us, but that anytime she was past, all the seats were taken. But that's a nice problem to have, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it was definitely very busy. A lot of chatting was done, and then I don't think we spoke to each other for the best part of a week afterwards, because we were all socialed out after that.
We're all introverts here.
So I suppose another key part of what we do at Inspiring Yarns is the fact that we are a social enterprise, and I guess because myself and Janice set it up back in the day, maybe just to explain how it's a social enterprise would be helpful for some people. We thought it was important to go as a social enterprise rather than a charity, because as a social enterprise you can generate your own income, whereas as a charity you're reliant solely on grant funding and donations. We don't always want to be reliant on grant funding. We do get some grant funding which supports a lot of the projects that we would do, that would be cross community or would be of a health benefit in nature. But in general our plan is long term that we would like to establish the mill, and that would generate an income for us as well, and that we would then be less reliant on grant funding. For anybody that's ever worked in a grant funded area, you will know that it's extremely hard to work in. It's very challenging, especially whenever, it's fine whenever there's a lot of grants available, but once those aren't there, it then becomes very stressful. And basically a lot of my time is taken up with applying for grants, and it's not exactly what I want to do in the long term. I want to be able to be more involved in the creative aspects of the business rather than constantly just chasing after funding. We've done a lot of research and design work with Invest NI, which we've proved we should be able to make this a viable. We will be able to make this a viable.
We're on our way to making it
for it. Obviously it takes a lot of time. We did do a crowdfunder, and we are aware that we never really did an update on the crowdfunder because life happened all over it, but basically, it's still very much plodding along in the background. There's a lot of things need to be established. We're trying to work as collaboratively as possible with other people within the industry. So we've been sort of networking, making different connections with that. And eventually that is the plan, that we will host, or that we will be able to have a mill set up hopefully by April 27 is the target that we're working towards. Or at least have some mill equipment within Northern Ireland. But that's basically why we set up as a social enterprise. So what we do as part of the social enterprise is basically that any of the profits that we make in terms of sales from our retail shop or from our online sales, any of the profits are invested straight back into the business. We don't have shareholders. We're not working for our own, profit margins or anything. We work solely to be able to provide the community space that we provide. So obviously our overheads can be quite high in terms of rent and accommodation, heat, light, all the rest of it. All of that is all taken out of the profits, and that all goes towards supporting the community space that we provide and making sure that we can offer that at a reduced rate so that people are able to access it no matter what their financial situation.
And part of what we provide on a weekly basis are 4 what we call yarn togethers, knit and natters, get-togethers, whatever, but we call them yarn together. And that is open to anyone who wants to. And we have a lot of people in the groups that have benefited from just getting together with people and feeling supported.
So we mentioned there we do have the retail space, which is in Newton Ards. We've compiled a wee video just of how to get there because nobody can ever find us in the retail. It's not a main street shop. It is in an industrial unit, so it can be a wee bit tricky to find. So we are going to upload that to Google and also on the podcast here as well, just to make sure people can get some sense of where we are. We still to this day have a lot of people coming in and telling us that they didn't know we were there. But I guess you'll always get that. But so we have the retail space. We do retreats as well. We have previously run 4 to 5 retreats per year. And the next one that we have coming up will be in September, and it'll be in the Causeway Hotel.
All the details are on the website now. So,
and we are going to have a very special visitor this time around, which we'll tell you on our next podcast. Once we've got a few more details. But there will be more of a theme to our next retreat. If for those who want to take part in that project, yep, you can get more details on it whenever we put them out there.
So we will give you more details on that in the next podcast. What we'll also talk about then is our collaborate project that we did. It's a cross-border project that we did finished last year. And we have a piece quilt that will also show you in a bit more detail.
Any of those you can find details of on our website, which is www.inspiringyarns.co.uk. If you are interested in following along with our day-to-day shenanigans, you can find us most often on Instagram at Inspiring Yarns, and we also have our Inspiring Yarns hand-dyed Instagram page as well. One last thing we should probably mention is that we also have a charity wing of the organisation, which is a totally separate entity but is still very much under our management and supporting our ethos, but it is more specifically about developing training and employment within yarn and textiles. And again, we'll let you know what's happening with it through the podcast as well, but there's also an Instagram page for it, which is under development as well. At Inspired Yarns, we don't deal with boredom particularly easily. We're all introverts, and we all have our own ways of amusing ourselves, but some of the key things that we have are sticking googly eyes on places where there ought not to be googly eyes stuck.
So if you come into the shop, keep an eye out.
Yeah. You may also, if you're very, very lucky, because we've been working there for over a year now and have still not found it, but there is a duck hidden somewhere, a rubber duck in our shop, and if you find it, you have the bonus of being able to hide it again. But as I say, we haven't found it yet, so
all the excitement here.
Mystery duck. But the other way that we keep ourselves amused during the day is often to find questions such as, would you rather? So we thought that we should end our podcast with a would you rather every month, just to let you ponder over some of the important life questions.
Yeah, and I got quite a tame one this time, just to sort of ease you in gently. So, would you rather hop like a bunny, and for every hop you get a mini chocolate egg, right? Or waddle like a duck and be fully hydrated all the time?
I'm going to go with being a duck and being hydrated.
I sort of think hopping all the time would be quite annoying.
Yeah.
But there is the chocolate eggs.
But you can only eat so many chocolate eggs.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not supposed to overthink these questions too much.
Well, we'll leave you with that one, and I'll hope you come back for our second episode.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.